So she told us about this tea farm that she had. But first, she told us, she says, "Oh, I am so excited, I don't know." She says, "We had a burglary last night." And she says, "Not here, but at my daughter's home, just down the road." And they came in with cutters, giant cutters, and they cut through the wires. And she said they had a spear, and it had poison on the end. And she says, "I know all this because they dropped the cutters in the spear when they ran away." But she said the dogs did not bark, and they don't know, what to do. Why didn't the dogs bark? That was their alarm system. And they went in their daughter's house, and their daughter didn't wake up until they were coming in the bedroom. And she says she woke up, and she turned her torch on, and she had her torch shining in their faces. These were black men, and they had the torch shining in hers, and I guess she hollered, and they got scared, and they ran. But they had started taking the television set out and silverware and stuff like that. And she says, we have to assess them and see what value disappeared, And now, of course, they're looking for them. But she says it gets you nervous, because you think, my goodness, here she's living here alone. Her husband died a few months ago. She says he lost his memory a long time before that, so I don't feel too bad about it. He must have had Alzheimer's disease. But she said that, let's see, her father and her grandparents were here, but the father started the place. He bought 35 acres of land there, and then tried to grow coffee, but didn't seem to have too much luck in that. He came in 1905, and then had decided to do the tea. Now, it's so beautiful there. They have rolling hills, and the tea is like little shrubby bushes with all these beautiful little green leaves on them, and they're just the slope of the hills. It looks like patchwork quilt of green, but the same color, of course. But you can see all the intersections because the people who pick have to walk in between each one of these bushes, and they pick the leaves. They only pick the two top leaves with the one little bud in the center. And then she explained the whole process, how it's laid out to dry, and then it's put on something else with holes in it, and hot air comes through, and this and that, and it just goes process after process after process. And then at the end, they make different flavors of tea by adding different spices to them, and it was just so interesting to hear about all this thing. The pickers use little wicker baskets, and they either have the band around their head or around their chest, and they just pick these things and throw them back, pick them and throw them back. And they have to be careful because sometimes they'll pick up trash, with it, and this is not good. You can't put stems in there. They when they bring their baskets in, they have to unroll them on a big net, and they're checked, and all the garbage is taken out. And if there's any pieces of metal or anything, she says they used to do that to make it weigh more, because then they get paid more. The more it weighs, the more that they get paid. So she explained all of that to us. The slopes with the tea farm is like 7,000 feet up. It's really cool. No snakes there, so the pickers can go at ease into all the bushes there. And she was just telling about her life there, how interesting it was. She was an English lady, and with the accent, and it was just wonderful to hear. She called one of her boys, these are men, and he took us out to go into the woods. She has coleos, monkeys out there. They're black and white, and they have long fur. The natives used to take them and use them for headdresses and wall decorations. Of course, they're not doing that anymore.